Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin if you're new here, and on this channel we talk about building your dream life and your dream closet. We talk about all things fashion, beauty, femininity, living the soft life, living a feminine lifestyle, all of those fun and beautiful and lovely things, romanticizing your life, being the main character. So if that sounds like a community that you would be interested in joining, please feel free to click the subscribe button down below. It would mean the world to me if you wanted to join my little growing family here on YouTube, and feel free to follow me over on my Instagram at Caitlin Mahina. I also post on TikTok and Pinterest as well. I do a lot more fashion focused content over on those platforms and just like in general sort of romanticizing life content over there. And so the links to all of those platforms will be in the description box down below. And let's go ahead and get into this video. I have a lot of new subscribers, and so you might not know about the very first video that I posted this year in 2023, which was all about how I was gonna make 2023 the best year of my life. I was going to go after my goals without holding back at all whatsoever, and I was going to up level and change a lot of aspects of my life, and it has really been going very well for me. I'm very happy to say my life is completely different from what it looked like 9 months ago, and there's been a lot of things that I've learned along this journey as far as creating my dream life, manifesting my dream life, going after my goals, and completely turning my life around from where I was at what felt like pretty close to rock bottom at the start of January of 2023. This is the 3/4 of the year check-in. I'm going to be giving practical manifestation tips, things that have actually helped me. I know that January is the time of year when everyone decides to totally revamp their life and become the best versions of themselves, but from what I know about celebrating seasonality and just human nature, I find January a very impossible time to try to turn my life around because it's dark, you don't want to go outside, you don't want to do anything, it's cold, you just want to lay in bed, and it's really, really hard to be motivated. And so I don't want you to think, oh, well, I'm not going to try fixing my life until 2024. Because when January rolls around and everyone's all motivated, it sounds like a great idea until reality hits you and you don't actually feel like you want to be motivated, you want to be going after those goals. And so I really do think that the start of fall is a really great time to start making those shifts so that 2024 you can start ahead of the game, on track and ready to go, and not being like, okay, it's January 1st, oh my god, I need to change my life. Start planting those seeds now so that way when the new year rolls around, you are ready to hit the ground running. So let's get into it. The first point that I want to talk about in today's video is all about self-sabotage. And self-sabotage is a phrase that gets tossed around all the time in the manifestation, self-development, creating your dream life community. I thought I knew what self-sabotage was. We all have different set points in our lives in all areas. Maybe it's a weight that you're at currently that no matter what you do, you feel like you just can't change your weight to whatever it is that you want it to be. Whether it's what your bank account looks like and you feel like it's always just at the same level, you always have the same amount of money in there, or it's the type of partners that you attract. You always attract the same type of guy over and over and over again. We all have what we accept as the standard for our reality in all areas of our life. And this is something that you're not necessarily doing consciously. So whenever you are going through your life, you're not consciously thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to attract another unfaithful partner. Like that is just what I really want in my life. And you're not thinking to yourself, I love being 20 pounds heavier than what I want to be. Like that's just not how you're operating. But these things are subconscious. And I've talked about this in other videos that I've done on this channel before, but as humans, we crave what is familiar and we crave what we know, and we see that as safe. Whether you're thinking it consciously or not, it is scary for us to embrace change or to experience things that are different, even if it's something that's better for you. And that's why a lot of the times you hear stories about people who win the lottery, but they don't hold on to the wealth. They spend it all and they oftentimes end up worse off than they started. That is because when you become a lottery winner, if you already had bad money habits to begin with, which many people do, many lottery winners certainly do, just because you've become a multimillionaire because of these lottery winnings, because of the set point of how you manage money, how you treat money, and the fact that you never think you'll have a lot of money, Well, guess what? You win the lottery, and in a couple of years, again, you have no money. It's like it never even happened to you, because at some level, that's what you're consciously attracting as your relationship with money. Same thing with men. I know I keep using the same 3 examples, but they're very prevalent. A lot of people can relate to them. How many times have you yourself personally, or someone you know, always attracted the same kind of guy? Maybe he's sliding into girls' DMs when you're dating. Maybe he is emotionally unavailable. The reason you keep attracting men like that into your life is because when you meet a new man and he's exhibiting these behaviors that your exes have had, you think to yourself subconsciously, oh yeah, I know what this is like. I know how this is gonna play out. And so for better or for worse, you end up in that relationship with that man. And where self-sabotage comes into play here is a lot of us, when we have those energetic set points, when something good is happening to us or about to happen to us, self-sabotage shows up and brings us back down to what our normal set point is. I will be really consistent with creating content, and I'll have a schedule that I'm, doing really well on as far as being able to push out content and work a regular job as well. And then I'll get overwhelmed, and instead of sticking to that schedule, which is perfectly attainable and perfectly doable, I will start scrolling my phone, and 2 hours will go by, and then I'm behind. We all have these little vices in our life that we'll partake in right when things start getting really good, and then you start feeling like, oh, why does this always happen to me? So what I've been doing in order to overcome this is I've had to recognize what it feels like when I'm about to self-sabotage. So what I'd recommend if you find yourself in this position and you're having this realization that you're self-sabotaging is that identify when you're about to self-sabotage, catch yourself in that moment, and sort of talk through it with yourself. For example, maybe you have a really great relationship, you finally manifested your dream partner, and for whatever reason things are going really well and you start picking fights. We have all been there before. So catch yourself in that moment. Why am I trying to pick a fight with this person? Things are going really well right now. Why am I trying to do this to myself? Stop self-sabotaging right before you're about to be successful. This is a game changer. Identify that set point of what you think you get to have in your life, and right as you're starting to go over that, right when things are starting to go really well, stop yourself, check in with yourself, and stop self-sabotaging right before you get to overcome that set point. The next thing I want to talk about is embodiment. And I have realized over this past year that it is not enough to simply try to go after your goals. You have to also go after becoming the person that you want to become. So yes, it's great to be someone who achieved goals. Just because you've achieved goals and taken steps towards this dream reality that you want to have in all of your manifestations that you want to have, if your identity is stuck as someone who does not have those things in their reality, you will have a very hard time achieving those goals. And if you do achieve them, you'll probably end up doing a downhill slide back to that reality of that version of you, of that identity that you have that doesn't have those things. So over these past 9 months, I've done a lot of research, reading, studying, inner work, learning about how to be the best version of myself, how to have the dream body, how to have the dream business, the dream partnership, the dream life, the dream bank account, all of those things. If you are not actually taking those teachings and putting them into practice and embodying that person that has all of those things, it's just not going to work out for you. And that is a trap that I only realized very recently that I've been putting myself in over and over and over again. I will do everything in my power to be consistent on social media, but in the back of my mind, I will still not tell myself that I am a social media creator. Hello? I upload literally 7+ pieces of content a week. I upload every single day across multiple social media platforms, twice a week here on YouTube with more longer form videos. And even though I've hit those consistency goals of mine, I still don't feel like a content creator. That has changed now, but maybe you are hitting a fitness goal and you are doing everything in your power to become that dream version of yourself and have that dream body. But if you still feel like a fat girl and you still identify as a fat girl, I hate saying that, but it's something that a lot of people talk to themselves and tell themselves that they're still fat. How will you ever have that dream body? So it's really great to do all of this research and read a million books and become an expert on being this best version of yourself and becoming an expert on manifestation on paper. But if you are not taking those teachings and actually applying them to your life, you're just learning and doing absolutely nothing with the things that you've learned. I have fallen into this trap time and time again, where in my mind, I know what I have to do and I can regurgitate it to a camera. I can talk to my family and friends about all of these great things that I've learned, and oh my gosh, this is what you need to do to have your dream partner and have your dream life. But if you're not doing those things yourself, It doesn't matter how much you've learned. You need to embody that dream version of yourself. And I've talked about this before, about actually acting like the person that you want to become. You know, law of assumption, lucky girl syndrome, acting like that dream version of you. But again, even as I was telling you those things to the camera and telling everyone in my life about them, I still wasn't necessarily doing it in my own life. And so if you have goals and you feel like you're hitting them, but something is missing, make sure that you are embodying that dream version of you, and your manifestations will just come so much faster and you'll be able to hold on to them when they arrive. You need to be able to sort of have the spiritual element of manifesting as well. You need to be able to sit back, breathe, and have faith and have trust and pray and journal and meditate and say affirmations and all of these wonderful things, but not just going through the motions, actually, you know, feeling that divine feeling of manifesting things into your reality. While it is really great to have these masculine teaching, learning moments in your life when you're trying to create that dream life, also have those feminine moments of enjoying, appreciating, feeling connected with the divine, whatever it is that you call upon to call in your manifestations, and breathing and embodying that version of you that you want to become. Point number 3 is short and sweet, and that is to decide. Decide once. Example of this for me in my life was being consistent on social media. So if you have been on my channels for a while now, you will know that I have struggled pretty much since I started creating content back in 2020. I have never once been consistent for more than 3 weeks to like the level of consistency that I've wanted to be. I know that sounds insane. Like, how can you call yourself a content creator if you're not uploading consistently? That's why I was not getting the growth that I wanted to have with my content. So I decided at the beginning of September, no more excuses, no more, oh, it's too hard, oh, I'm tired, oh, I'm busy. I am going to upload on YouTube twice a week. I am going to create short form content to upload 5 times a week. And I put my foot down and I said, no more excuses, this is what we're doing. Because a lot of the time we'll tell ourselves that we want X, Y, and Z thing in our life. We want to achieve a certain goal, but then we will be really wishy-washy on it. We'll be like, oh no, today I don't feel like it. Today it's too hard. There's so many different excuses that you can come up with. Decide once. Because if you keep saying, yeah, I'm gonna be consistent, and then over and over again, you're letting yourself down, you're not uploading consistently, you are gonna lose a lot of faith and trust in yourself. And in the back of your mind, you'll create this weird pattern of behavior where it's like, well, I've been inconsistent before, so you know what? I don't really feel like uploading today. It doesn't matter because I've been inconsistent in the past and, you know, I'm still breathing, so it won't matter if I don't upload on YouTube. How are you going to achieve your goals if you keep being wishy-washy on them? I know this can be kind of hard and like you have to have a lot of discipline, which is why I think being decisive and deciding once can be very difficult and overlooked when it comes to achieving your goals. Maybe it's a savings goal. Maybe you want to have a certain amount of money in your bank account by the end of the year, but you keep being like, oh, no, I'll just make up for this purchase later. I'll just save extra later. No, that's not going to work if you want to hit your savings goal or whatever goal it is that you want to hit. Decide one time, and that's it. Have discipline, have faith and trust in yourself, and take that decision seriously and stop engaging in behaviors that take you away from your decision to have your best body, have your dream job, have your dream partner, anything. Decide once. It is so powerful. Point number 4 is to normalize your manifestations. And this is something that has taken a long time for me. And I think a lot of the times when we start achieving goals, when we start overcoming that set point that I was talking to you about earlier, we start to think like, oh my gosh, wait, this is crazy. Like, I can't handle this. So an example for me that happened very, very recently in my life is that on YouTube, in the analytics section of, you know, when you're a creator and you want to know your stats about like your audience and your growth and all of those things, there was a certain number of subscribers that I was growing month after month after month. No matter what I would do, that number would not budge. That was the number, that was my set point for how much I was growing. And so a couple of weeks ago, I had this thought to myself of, I want to achieve this number every month instead. I want to grow my channel by this many subscribers every month instead. I kind of put that in the back of my mind as like a number that I wanted to hit, and you know, I decided, I stayed consistent. I knew that number would come eventually, and it happened. Last night, it happened. One of my YouTube shorts that I posted did very, very well, and I was just in awe as I kept refreshing my phone over and over again, and just another follower, 10 subscribers, 20 new subscribers. And I was having this moment of like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Okay, wait, hold on. Like, I need to create all this content now so I can hold on to these subscribers. No, No, that's my new normal now. I will not see that level of growth on this YouTube channel or whatever it is that your goal is. When you start hitting that thing, you get this feeling of like, oh, I can't handle this. This is crazy. You're achieving that goal, but it just doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel believable. It doesn't feel normal. And so guess what? You're just gonna return back to that set point because the universe is sitting here thinking like, oh, well, I gave her the thing that she wanted, but now she's freaking out and she can't handle it. Like, no, I'm not gonna give her that anymore. And then all of a sudden you go back down to that set point of whatever the thing is that is your normal. So when you start going over that set point in your life and your manifestations start coming true, yes, enjoy them, appreciate them, get excited about them, absolutely. But then you have to, as quickly as possible, just make that normal. Make the pay increase at your work normal. Okay, well, this is just my reality now. I get to have this much money. When you meet that dream man, don't self-sabotage, don't freak out, like, get excited that you have your dream man in your life, but you can't be like, oh, this is crazy, I don't deserve this, oh my gosh. Okay, well then he won't be your man for much longer because he's gonna be like, oh, this girl's tripping, like I don't know what's going on in her head, but it doesn't make sense. Normalize your manifestations as soon as they arrive. Get excited, enjoy them, but then, okay, yep, that's my new set point. And so as you're raising that set point and raising the bar, you can achieve bigger and bigger and bigger manifestations. The key is to normalize them as they're happening to you. The last point that I want to talk about is that your goals and your manifestations need to have a level of flexibility. And I'm gonna be a little bit vulnerable here, and I came up with 5 big goals that I wanted to achieve this year. And one of them I pretty much had to scrap entirely, and that was that I wanted to start traveling this year. And I had a very honest conversation with myself when midsummer was rolling around and I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I had a million things going on, and I just knew that travel was not going to make sense for me this year. And I can't wait to travel in the future. I am so excited to visit all of these dream places and dream countries and things, but if I had actually traveled this year to the level that I had wanted to, all of my other goals would have probably had to fall to the wayside because of the way that my schedule is. But at first I was kind of disappointed that I had to put that goal sort of on the back burner, but then I had to have a conversation with myself about, you know, something was just not aligned for me to travel this year in a way that would have made sense. And that's okay. And before you think I'm trying to tell you to like give up on your manifestations, that's not what I'm saying at all. But if something is just not working out, or you've realized that achieving something or having something coming into your life, it's just not the right timing, that's okay. This year was meant to be the year of my supreme personal development. This was meant to be the year of finally becoming consistent on social media. This was meant to be the year of healing from heartbreak and learning a lot about myself and just becoming the best version of myself. I am so close to having my dream body. I probably would not have achieved that if I had gone through all of the chaos that comes with travel and, you know, trying to schedule time off with my current work, and just, it would have been way too much. And so don't give up on your manifestations, but sometimes you do need to reframe them and prioritize certain things at a time. And other manifestation teachers might tell you, no, that's crazy, like you need to have unlimited beliefs, like that's a limiting belief right there. But coming to the realization that travel was just not gonna be the best fit for me this year has really helped me protect my peace, and it's really helped me protect my sanity, and it's really taken a lot off of my plate that would have just been way too much for me to handle in the current version of myself that I'm existing in right now. But I just wanted this to be a friendly reminder that sometimes your manifestations are right for you, but just not in the present moment. That just means that sometimes you have to make a very conscious sort of reshuffling of your goals. And something else that I want to add in here is that at the beginning of the year, I had these 5 big goals and I was approaching them all at the same time with like the same amount of effort. And what I've come to realize is that was spreading me way too thin. I was really overworked, really overexhausted, and I was not really achieving anything like I'm achieving things very quickly now. And that's because I have learned that no matter how many goals I have, yes, they're all really awesome and amazing goals, but sometimes you need to find a set point for a few of them and then really prioritize like 1 or 2. So that's something that I've been doing a lot lately. I have been very consistent on social media. So I don't need to make that a goal of mine anymore. I'm just consistent on social media now. I decided, back to the previous point, I decided that I was going to be consistent on social media. I am now consistent on social media, and because I've achieved that goal, I'm not focusing so much on social media goals currently. I'm focusing more so on getting my dream body. That is my #1 priority right now. So then once I've achieved that dream body and I'm maintaining it and that is my new set point, what's the next goal that I'm gonna go after? Because that dream body, it's just a given now. Like, it's just part of my reality. It's just who I am. So to sum up this last point, sometimes those goals and dreams of yours need to be flexible. Sometimes you need to kind of rework them and reassess them. And sometimes it can be hugely beneficial to really prioritize 1 or 2 goals. And once you've reached those things, you've decided that you're going to achieve them, you've achieved them, you've normalized that, and that is your new set point, you know, tying in everything that we've talked about in this video. Then, now that that's your set point, you don't really need to worry about it so much anymore. What is the next thing that you could focus on? Decide you're gonna achieve it, normalize it, make it your new set point, boom, move on to the next thing. And it's these incremental level ups in goals that are really so much more beneficial than like, okay, I have to save and I've gotta eat really well and I'm gonna travel and I'm gonna find my dream partner. Like, it's just not easy and possible to have the same amount of attention dedicated to a bunch of different goals at the same time. And so I'm hoping that that is something that will help you out if you feel like you're really just going a million miles an hour and you're not really getting anywhere. And that is everything that I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end. I hope that it's been helpful for you. These are things that are sort of hard-earned lessons to me. I have, you know, been through a lot of ups and downs in this year, mostly ups. I'm really happy with the progress I've made towards completely turning my life around from the person and the place that I was in the beginning of 2023. And so if you liked what I had to share today, you liked the vibe on this channel, again, please feel free to subscribe down below and feel free to follow me over on any social media platforms that you feel called to: Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, all of my more short form, you know, fun, cute, pretty, fashionable content is all over there. I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you on the next one.